how do you find the inaugural Capital Markets Forum so far?
We are super excited with the numbers and the results so far. We saw a lot of progress in various aspects. One tangible result that you can see in between Saudi and Hong Kong is the listing of the ETF that took place towards the end of last year. And this forum is a very strong testament to that strong relationship. We consider this forum a kickstarter to many greater things to come. There's a very strong effort between us and Hong Kong Exchange to build a capital market bridge to facilitate for transactions, whether those are cross listings or fund transactions. But there's a strong desire for us to build a bridge between both markets that can play an important role in connecting both capital market ecosystems in Saudi Arabia and Hong Kong. Obviously, have a lot of admiration to Hong Kong and Hong Kong Exchange. We think Hong Kong plays a very important role in this part of the world. We as a capital market group have ambitions to connect east to west. And for us to do so, we need the right partners. And we think Hong Kong Exchange is definitely the right partner for us to execute on that strategy.
When will we see the first ETF of Hong Kong Exchange listed stocks in Saudi?
I think that's a great question. And I think that question is very much dictated by the appetite of asset managers to do so. We are in discussions, many of them, with several global asset managers and asset managers that are based in mainland China and in Hong Kong. There is interest, and there's a lot of work being done to try and reciprocate the effort being done in Hong Kong towards Saudi, and I'm pretty confident that we would see another ETF listing in Saudi and maybe even more ETF listings in Hong Kong.
Does a Tadawul listed company that meets the Hong Kong Exchange listing criteria still require Tadawul's permission to list in Hong Kong, or will it be simply through the registration?
So we have an example of a company that is outside our borders listing at the Saudi Exchange, and of course that went through, and namely Americana, which happened a couple of years ago, plus or minus. And that was a very successful event, a very successful transaction. In that case, of course, there was regulatory frameworks that had to be met for that company to be able to list in Saudi Arabia. We live in an environment today where we are very lucky that companies are very eager and keen to list in Saudi. We haven't seen a situation where a company is desiring to conduct a cross-listing elsewhere, but if that ever happens, we are an exchange that is open to business, very dynamic, very liberal in the way we do business, and we're more than happy, of course, to discuss how that could be achieved with any exchange in the world.
What is the scope for collaboration on asset management between Tadawul and the Hong Kong Exchange?
If we look at the size of investment that comes from this part of the world into Saudi, I would say that's at a very low level at the moment, and there's a lot of room for us to grow that. If you look at Saudi money being invested in this part of the world, that number as well is a number that can be improved. And again, this collaboration you see here, the CMF in Hong Kong, is a way for us to help companies and help investors understand both markets more effectively.
I'm sure you're aware of some of the reforms undertaken by the Hong Kong Exchange in the past 10 years, like the Connect schemes, Chapter 18, SPACs to raise capital. Can Tadawul leverage some of the experiences we've had here to help reform the Saudi Exchange?
100%. We do learn a lot from the Hong Kong Exchange.
Any specific examples?
I would say every single regulation that has been implemented in the Saudi Exchange, whether that is the IPO book building framework or the secondary offering regulations that were recently issued, Hong Kong was part of that benchmarking. So if you look at the way we do business in Saudi, it's more or less what you would see in a top developed market, and Saudi is paving its way towards being a top developed market.
Thank you for your time. We wish you a fruitful and productive conference.
Thank you very much. Thank you.